שלום עליכם מלאכי השרת, מלאכי עליון. מי מלך מלאכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. רחם לשלום מלאכי השלום, מלאכי הקדוש ברוך הוא. צאתכם לשלום מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון. מי מלך מלאכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Welcome to Temple Bat Yahm, where we're joining together in the Sun and Shine Family Sanctuary. Welcome to those who are here in person. Welcome to those joining us on the live stream. I think just by being here and being together, we are embodying those three words we've been saying a lot for the last couple of years, Am Yisrael Chai. It's great to have you here. It's especially great to have Avi Shmurak and his entire posse joining us. Avi is becoming bar mitzvah this Shabbat. Welcome and mazel tov to all you and your fan club that is here. We welcome you whether you are a regular or you are a first-timer. We hope you enjoy the service and we hope you'll follow along. We're going to begin with the blessing over the Shabbat candles, and I'd like to invite members of Avi Shmurak's family, Mila Shmurak, Mila Evans, Larissa Baum, Erica Rooney, Adeline Tabibi, Anna and Lena Potterman, Elisa Evans, Aunt Lena Shmurak, and Alla Pronan. And folks, we're on page 120 and 121 in our prayer book.
Once everyone gets up here, you'll read the first paragraph. The English part. Just wait for them.
Uh-oh. It's okay, Lanny. It's fine. That's okay. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Friends, let's continue with welcoming Shabbat with the singing of L'Chadodi. We're going to join together on page 138. We're going to sing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. Page 138.
לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה. מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך אדוני לקראת כלה, בני שבת מקבלה. לך אדוני לקראת כלה, בני שבת מקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי בא אורך, קומי אורי. אורי, אורי, שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך אדוני לקראת כלה, בני שבת מקבלה. לך אדוני לקראת כלה, בני שבת מקבלה.
We rise for the final verse.
אוי ושלום עטרת פלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה. תוך אמוני יום סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך אדוני לקראת כלה, בני שבת מקבלה. לך אדוני לקראת כלה, בני שבת מקבלה.
Now that we've welcomed Shabbat, let's welcome each other. Find someone you don't know already, introduce yourself, and say Shabbat Shalom. And once you've greeted your neighbors, please take your seats. And let's turn in our prayer books to page 140, Psalm 92, the only psalm out of 150 psalms that tells us it's for the day of Shabbat, page 140.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני. ולזמר לשמך התמר יפרח, כארז בלבנון יזכה, שתולים
foot of the page, the righteous bloom like a date palm. They thrive like a cedar in Lebanon. Planted in the house of Adonai, they flourish in the courts of our God. In old age, they still produce fruit. They are full of sap and freshness, attesting that Adonai is upright. Tzuri velo avlata bo, my rock, in whom there is no wrong. Page 146, call to prayer. If you're able, please rise. Please be seated. Page 149. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars, creator of the tide of time and light. You guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Amen. Page 150, Ahavat Olam.
אהבת עולם ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael.
Let's rise for Shema and remain standing for Ve'ahavta. Page 152.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem kevod malchuto, leolam va'ed.
Page 154.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך, בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך, ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
And please be seated. Page 157, let's read responsively. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. Page 158.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה. לך ראו בניך, בוקע הים לפני משה ומרים. זעירי, ענו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
Amen. Page 160, Hashkivenu, praying for God's protection.
השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, 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 והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים, לחיים, לשלום, 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 ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, לשלום, 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 ותקננו בעצה טובה מלפניך, לשלום, לשלום, לשלום. ידדי, 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 ושמור צאתנו בואנו לחיים ולשלום מעתה ועד עולם. ברוך אתה אדוני הפורש סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים.
Amen. Vashamu, page 162.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. איי 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 ביני ובין בני ישראל עוד היא לעולם, כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש.
Page 165, prayer invites God's presence to suffuse our spirits, God's will to prevail in our lives. Prayer may not bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city. But prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, rebuild a weakened will. With that in mind, page 164, let's join together in tefillah. Please rise if you're able.
Adonai, שפתי תפתח, ופי יגיד תהילתך. ברוך אתה, אדוני, אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק, ואלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה, אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה הכל אתה, רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיה הכל ברחמים רבים, צומח נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
Please be seated. Let's continue privately with the prayer on the page, or the prayer of the heart. We'll join back together for a prayer for peace, which we'll read together in English first on 179 and then sing together on the facing page. Page 179. Let's join together. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bond of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace. Page 178.
וברך את עמו ישראל בשלום.
Let's turn in our thoughts and prayers to those in need of healing of body, of mind, of spirit. Page 382. We think of those here in person joining us, those on live stream from home or hospital beds. We think of those who are undergoing treatments, recovering, or anticipating surgery, waiting diagnoses, those struggling with mental illness, including many with PTSD or recovering from injuries in Israel. We think of those struggling with infertility as well as addiction. Think of them all, page 382.
רפאנו אדוני ונרפא, הושיענו וניוושע, אל קרוב לכל קרוב, אך קרוב לרעיו אישו. אל נא רפאנה, אל נא רפאנה, רפואת הנפש ורפואת הגוף, רפואה שלמה, רפואה שלמה. הושיע את עמך וברך את נחלתך, ורעים ונשאים עד העולם. מי שברך אבותינו, מי שברך אמותינו, אנא אדוני הושיענה. אל נא רפאנה, אל נא רפאנה, רפואת הנפש ורפואת הגוף, רפואה שלמה, רפואה
Now thrilled to call up Avi ben Yosef Umalka. That's you, Avi Shmurak. Come on up to lead us in the Kiddush. And as he comes up here, I invite those who are able to please rise and approach one of the wine or grape juice stations near you. So we join together for Kiddush. Folks at home, whatever your favorite beverage is, enjoy.
The seventh day is consecrated to the Lord. With wine, our symbol of joy, we celebrate this day in its holiness. We give thanks for all our blessings, for life and health, for work and rest, for home and love and friendship. On Shabbat, an eternal sign of creation, we remember that we are created in the divine image. We therefore raise the cup in thanksgiving. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kadsho be'ahava uvratzon, hinhilanu zikaron l'maaseh v'reshit, ki hu yom tehila lemikra'ei kodesh, zecher litziat mitzrayim, ki vanu v'charta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon, hinchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. L'chaim.
That was amazing, Avi. All right.
Please be seated. When I was very little, I spent a lot of time with my grandmother of blessed memory, who was a fluent Yiddish speaker, and I'm told that at the age of 5, I could speak Yiddish pretty fluently. Unfortunately, I'm not so fluent today, although I can say a few phrases. One phrase that I remember is the phrase, "Los mir allein." I can see a few people know the Mama Lashon, the maternal old tongue of Eastern European Judaism. Los mir allein, it means, leave me alone. And apparently I used that phrase quite a few times as a small child, either to swat away my younger brother, or maybe to refuse a request or maybe an order of a parent or a grandparent. And that term, los mir allein, leave me alone or leave us alone, is a phrase that has been coming to mind for me of late, and maybe for you as well. Just leave us alone. So much of the world seems to be focused on what we are or are not doing, what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong, how we influence this, how we influence that, whether it's someone on this side of the aisle or that side of the aisle, it depends what it is. We seem to be a barometer of people's misgivings, of concerns, of people's conspiracies of the moment. Los mir allein. Leave us alone. Leave me alone. Imagine if on October 7th, 2023. Can you believe it's that long ago? They had just they had just left us alone. Gaza would continue to be not the open-air prison that they claimed it was, but a wonderful city on the Mediterranean. If Iran had not built up a proxy network in Lebanon and Syria and Iraq and Gaza and the West Bank and Judea, Samaria, Yemen, and built nuclear weapons, or in the process of building nuclear weapons, built ballistic missiles, threatened to destroy Israel, if they just let us alone, there'd be no war against Iran. But they didn't leave us alone, did they? And while for centuries, when the troublemakers made us scapegoats for the plague that afflicted the town, or an economic downturn, we didn't have much we could do about it. Today, when they don't leave us alone, thank God we live in a time when there is a sovereign Jewish state in our ancestral homeland. One that, frankly, right now, excuse my phrase, I know it's Shabbos, I know it's the sanctuary, they're kicking butt. The IDF, the Israeli Air Force, is partnering with the world's only superpower and pulling way more than its fair share. Los Miraline, leave me alone. You know, it wasn't that long ago that there was a ceasefire agreement achieved with Hezbollah in southern Lebanon. Lebanese government agreed, Hezbollah agreed to move north so they wouldn't be close to the border with Israel. They're supposed to be disarmed. But instead, they shot rockets into Israel. They didn't leave us alone. And they're paying the price now. Egypt had tried multiple times until they realized it's better for them to leave us alone. And they made a peace agreement. And guess what? They're doing just fine, at least in terms of state of Israel. Got other problems. Same thing with Jordan. It could be like that with Syria. It could be like that one day, God willing, with Lebanon, the Abraham Accord countries. All they have to do, Los Miraline, just leave us alone. We don't know what's going to unfold in the days, weeks, months ahead. We don't know if this will merely kick the can down the road, or whether it will mean a whole transformed Middle East. We certainly have the tikva, the hope, that it'll be the latter. Might take longer than we thought, but hopefully we get there. But hopefully, those enemies that have been out to get us all these years will learn the lesson that I remember learning as a small child. Los Miraline, leave us alone. And once you've learned to do that, if you actually make peace, just think what we could all achieve. The peace that we all yearn for, dream of, the kind of peace that's envisaged at the end of the book of Exodus, the double parsha we read this Shabbat, in which a holy space is created, in which God can dwell. May the world be such a sacred place, a mishkan, place for the dwelling of God, where we, Jews and others, can be together as brothers and sisters, not fighting each other, leaving each other alone, but instead fighting all the other problems we have and fixing them for good. Can you hear Ratzon? May it be God's will. Amen. Page 377. We turn now to a prayer for the state of Israel. If you're able, please rise. אבינו שבשמיים צור ישראל וגואלו, ברך את מדינת ישראל ראשית צמיחת גאולתנו. הגן עליה בעברת שדך ופרוס עליה סוכת שלומך, ושלח אורך ועמיתך לראשיה, שריה ויועציה. ותקנם בעצה טובה מלפניך, ונתת שלום בארץ ושמחת עולם ליושביה, ונאמר אמן. Together, O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen. And let's remain standing if you're able as we turn to page 586. And I'd like to invite, in honor of Avi's bar mitzvah, Joe Shmurak, Moisey Shmurak, Jacob and Noah Shmurak, and Avi, why don't you come up as well? Page 586.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינת עוזו בגובהי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Thanks.
If you're able, please remain standing as we turn in our prayer books to page 598 for Kaddish Yatom, the mourner's Kaddish. In this Shabbat, we're in the Shiva mourning period for Neda Myers and the Shloshim 30-day period since the passing of Ignacio Cabrera, Martin Job, Beth Cooper, Harvey Kaufman, Gary Kramer, and David Smith. This Shabbat marks the yahrzeit, the anniversary of the deaths of Francis Rose Albert Stein, Edward Alpert, Randy Aronoff, Ellen Bilgore, Rachel Bitterman, Ravella Brower, Jack Brower, Sarah Riva Cammons, Esther Center, Sarah Cohen, Sumner Darman, Julian Darman, Bernard Rudolph Fish, Mari Glickman, Esther Kaufman, Hushang Hoshleshasan, Harry Kleinman, Sidney Clavat, Bito Kukuk Levy, Jordan Levine, David Levinson, Harold Levitt, Seymour Moses, Henry Moss, Harold Rum, Stanley Ross, Arthur L. Satin, Edward Schwartz, Robert Paul Slaff, Milton Stein, Joseph Tomac, Arthur Travers, Abe Watkin, Philip Wilkes, Sylvia Wyman, and Gussie Zaks. We also remember those who've died through acts of terror here in this country, around the world, especially in Israel, and those who've died protecting this country and the state of Israel, all those who've died fighting for freedom. Zichronam Livracha, may their memories be for an abiding blessing. Yitgadal, Yitkadash, Shmei Rabbah. Yamad, Divrach, Yiruteh, V'yamlich Malchuteh. V'chayachon, V'yomechon, V'chayei Dechol Beit Yisrael, V'agalav, V'izman, Kariv, V'imru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah, Mevarach, L'olam Olamei Almaya, Yitbarach, V'yishtabach, V'yipa'ah, V'yitramam, V'yitnaseh. V'yitadal, V'yitaleh, V'yitalal, Shemei D'kud Shabrichu. La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, damiran v'amai v'imru amen. Yehei shalama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Israel, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Israel, v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn, comfort to all who are bereaved. And we say, Amen. Please be seated, all except the fabulous President Matt Cabrera, with some words of welcome and some brief announcements.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this evening, both in person and on Zoom for our Shabbat services. Thank you so much to our senior rabbi, Mr. Potty Mouth over here, Rabbi Zilberman, using the B-U-T-T word in the sanctuary. Oh, I tell you. Thank you to the much cleaner-mouthed Cantor Waltzman. Thank you to the fine gentleman behind the keys over there, Mr. Paul Zuhl. Thank you to our staff, led by our executive director, Sue Penn. Thank you to the tech bros back there, Matthew and Aaron Ross. Thank you to our amazing usher team, led by the freshly shorn and oh so fabulous Mr. Steve Fink back there. And finally, and most importantly, a huge, huge thank you to our security team who continue to go above and beyond the call of duty to keep our campus, our congregants, and our guests safe. Tomorrow morning, 10:30 a.m., little Mr. Avi Shmurak, the son of Mila and Joseph Shmurak, will be called to the Torah as a bar mitzvah, right here in the Sonnenschein Family Sanctuary. Now, typically, when there's a B'nai Mitzvah, I like to give he or she some advice, but I'm going to give a little bit of advice to your parents for tomorrow instead. First off, Miss Mila, no matter how many pictures you want to take tomorrow, it's never enough. Take as many as you want. Children, yes, that includes you, Joe. Listen to her. Take all the pictures she wants. Avi, I'm warning you right now, if you don't listen, there's a chance she may, I don't know, send the bus away with all your friends on it and leave you there to take pictures like my mom did 33 years ago. So just tread very, very lightly tomorrow, buddy. And to my good buddy Joe, For those who have been to any temple events with Joe and I, we like to have a good time together. Joe, have a great time tomorrow. Don't have too great of a time. Don't be like my uncle, who about hour and a half into my reception already had his tie wrapped around his head like Rambo, and who 2 hours later, I'm looking around and I'm like, oh, cool, we're doing another hora. No. That was my cousins, my brother, and my dad lifting my uncle up on his nice Shivari chair. He's passed out. They put him in the lobby of the hotel so that he could be laughed out while being passed out. Do not get there, buddy, please. But Avi, in all seriousness, congratulations. You're gonna crush it tomorrow. It's a marathon, not a sprint. You don't have to blast through all the prayers like you did tonight, but you're gonna do great, buddy. Congratulations. Following our services this evening, please join us in the social hall for an oneg sponsored by the Shmerak family. Please exit through our sanctuary doors and make your way into the social hall. Torah study is in person in the Marcus Library and on Zoom tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., led by Rabbi Zilberman. There will also be coffee talk on Sunday morning starting at 9 a.m., and thank goodness there is also J-Cal at 9 a.m. as well. Bagels and coffee will be provided at Coffee Talk. This Wednesday, March 18th, from 12 to 1:30 p.m., WTBY will be celebrating Rosh Chodesh Nisan, led by Rabbi Reina Gewurtz. The topic will be Foundations of Freeman, the Nisan narrative in our own lives. Rosh Chodesh is traditionally considered a special day for women, often associated with a pause from everyday responsibilities. This meaningful event is open to all TBY women members. Please bring lunch. Snacks will be provided. March 24th at 6 p.m. brings the return of another Bunko Babes event, which I continue to not be invited to. This is a 21 and over event, so please register online. Please also register online for our annual second night Passover Seder. This will occur on April 2nd. As always, please review and take home the Shabbat handout and check our website for dates of future programming, exciting events. Before I'll go, if you can indulge me for just about 30 seconds, you actually don't have a choice because I have the mic. The past couple of weeks have been a really tough time for my family and I, and the overwhelming outpouring of support that we've received from our clergy, our staff, this congregation in general, I can't tell you how amazing it's been and how appreciated it's been by my family and myself. You think you can't love this place anymore, and then you go through a tragedy and you see how this place truly is family, and it just makes me so grateful and makes my family grateful that we are members of such an incredible community. So on behalf of my family, bottom of our hearts, thank you all so much for everything. Have a wonderful weekend. Shmerak family, Avi, congratulations again. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Matt, for all you do to make this such a wonderful community. We're going to close appropriately with a prayer for peace. Oseh Shalom. Please rise. thank God for bringing forth bread from the earth, saying,
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'te'avon.
B'te'avon, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Stay safe out.